Robertson is saying on Tuesday you were not keen on bullish credit spread because of possibility of P over P forming. So we were waiting for market to cross VWAP to establish bearish credit spread. The market continuously got range extension to the upside and you took bullish credit spread. Please explain again why you took the trade. And also, was it anything to do with the fact that we had only one day left to expiry or the premium was attractive at that time? Alright, long question. Fine. First and foremost, absolutely. I was waiting for someone to ask this question. I'm extremely happy that you asked that why the hell you establish a bullish credit spread when you were actually thinking about establishing a bearish credit spread. The reason was very simple. We did talk about this development, cognitive dissonance kind of a development. I keep marking it on daily charts and I say that a big breakout can happen. This is what I was talking about all the time. You can see a very tight narrow channel sloping upwards is forming here, and finally when you get a breakout, the breakout is like unbelievable. I understand it did not cross the last point of supply, but I knew that if this cognitive dissonance plays out, in that case the rally is going to be extremely sharp and we may not get a good opportunity later on. That is one of the reasons. Second, obviously the fact that yesterday was a holiday, so there was just one day to expiry, played a big role in my mind. Okay, now this volatility has shown up today and late in the last session. I won't call this volatility because it was kind of an expected behavior, but this volatility has just shown up today. It was not expected, and even today, like if you say that okay, this spike is weird development, you can see that we are just developing value at yesterday's close, around yesterday's close. That is expected. Makes sense? So I established this position before the last point of supply was crossed because it was some sort of a context based trade. One is the cognitive dissonance was playing in my mind that okay, this might be like that. Then we had this rejection, then we had this rejection. Second, or one more point was that this gap down, okay, this big gap down was completely on account of external news. It was not even news related to our markets, it was related to some foreign markets. And how did we react to that? By closing the gap first thing the next day. Yeah, obviously when you gap so much you will see people selling, and all these sellers were there, but we still closed the gap. So at some point in time these sellers were going to give up. So this particular development which looked like cognitive dissonance, the context that we have fallen on account of news and we have rejected that lower prices immediately, and the fact that we had some rejection at lower levels, and also the fact that we are bouncing from a very important HVN of 38,000. So all that, see, it is never a very crystal clear decision making process because we are not following a rule based trading system here. So it is not possible for me to think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps and tick each one. Yeah, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. So yeah, I can buy. No, it's not like that. Most of the times, all these things, they are there in the back of my mind. I cannot articulate them immediately, but slowly they will start, cropping up one by one. So this cognitive dissonance was happening. That was one that definitely was there in my mind, but I never said the word because it did not come up, but it was there on the chart. My mind could read it. So it said that yeah, this ABCD all are extending the range, short covering. Okay, it does not look like a P shape. Slowly you start, going towards that decision. And one thing is for sure is that over the years, what I have learned is that there is no pride at all to be attached to your decision making, to your trades, to your profitability, to your trading in general. Okay, you cannot feel proud of your decisions, you cannot feel good about your decisions. I mean, good, yeah, but like if you start thinking that yeah, I took that decision and it made so much of money, I asked to buy and then it rallied 500, 600, 700 points. No, the moment that happens, it is going to color your judgment. So I started out as a bearish trader on this day. And I was absolutely hoping for a bearish credit spread. I was absolutely looking for some sort of a short trade here. but the market simply did not give me permission. What should I do? So at the end of the day, we have to follow the markets. I have my opinions, I'll keep them with me, but if the market gives me permission, only then I am going to establish my trades. If market tells me no, this is not happening, forget it. Who am I to argue with the markets? So markets told me all these things clearly, or by subtle hints, or whatever way you think. It warned me, it did warn me about all these things. I took them into consideration. Sometimes it just feels like you have a gut feel that no, I just want to buy here, right? And then you go and you establish a position, but it's not a gut feel, it is the accumulated experience that you have, which you may or may not be able to articulate all the time. So that is exactly what happened with me. I could not articulate it, but I had it in my mind, and that resulted in this particular decision. Okay, and that is why we took this. So obviously the 1 day to expiry thing also made a big impression. So all those things combined, made me take that decision. Also, you saw that the premiums were much better inputs on those days. Anyways, the premiums are higher inputs, but I somehow felt that the premiums told a story. I don't know what, but they kind of said that yes, so if you take this risk, you have an opportunity to make a certain amount of returns. That is what I saw, and then all these things combined kind of propelled me towards that particular decision. And today we have rejected, but now I don't know what to make of it. See, if we had gone down and started accepting here, I would have called it a rejection. What are we doing? We went down in the morning, obviously, but now we are back up here and we are again trading here. So this, if you ignore this fall in the morning, this is simply developing like a value after a big sharp move. This, if it develops here, I think it looks like absorption of supply to me. Why? Because swing highs, weak highs, supply is expected, market moving sideways on account of that supply, but not giving up ground, not giving up VWAP, makes sense, and just moving sideways. Basically, it is trying to absorb the supply. At some point in time, it will finish absorbing and it might move up. Today, maybe tomorrow, I don't know when it will do that, but that is what seems to be happening here. Makes sense? So, see, this is how I will look at the markets. Yeah, I understand it might not be very easy to replicate, but if you ask simple logical questions like, okay, why did we open lower? Does anyone have an answer? Why did we open lower? Because there is no answer. There is no answer. Opening lower, obviously there was some reaction to international markets or something like that. That is why we opened lower. Fine, we opened lower. We rejected everything, yesterday's big trending day and all. Then why are we trading back up here? Why did we recover immediately? The moment you start asking these questions, it tells you that this particular move again can be attributed to something external and may not be a part of the plans of the traders trading in Indian markets. Traders who have positions here, traders who are making a living from Indian markets. It's not a part of their plan. Yeah, some people saw international news, reacted violently, created an opportunity. The Indian traders, they latched onto it and they benefited from it. Someone who bought in this zone is making good amount of money right now. Today is also expiry, so you might have gotten into some really advantageous call positions, whatever it is. So now that market is trading here, it is looking like an absorption of supply to me. So now you tell me, if the market starts to accept here, will it be very wrong for me to roll this thing up again? That is the question. So right now I have a short strike at 38,500. What is stopping me from moving to 39,000 if it starts doing this? If at all the premiums are good. I mean, I'm not saying I'll do it, but you tell me. Market is trading above 39,900 and around midday, and I see signs of clear absorption of supply, acceptance above those references. What stops me from establishing or rather rolling it up again? Makes sense? So that is how you should look at the markets. It's an organic process. It's a beautiful process, and I don't know. I cannot compare it to anything else, but it's just too much fun.